Do you ever find yourself put off by some people's rudeness, even though you are kind to them, and wonder how long you can tolerate it? Does my kindness have a price tag, and can people afford it? Let's talk about it. Something that I observed during the pandemic is that we as people have become more introverted in the comfort of our own spaces. We inevitably create a world of our own where we can avoid dealing with people and confront our real world problems. One result is that we spend more time online, yet our conversations with people have become shorter. It may have long-term consequences, and here's why. To understand this, we have to look at the Somerville study done in Boston in the 1930s. The goal of the study was focused on children of a community in Boston prone to violence and a life of crime with no future. The idea was to intervene at an early age. Several intervention measures were taken for the group aged 4 to 15 of new diets, academic tutoring, medical and psychiatric attention. The effects of the intervention were studied 10 years and 17 years later. It was found that there was no radical change in preventing children going down the bad path, and in some cases they were even worse off. The conclusion drawn was that it was a bad idea to group people with tendency for antisocial behavior together in artificial environments with strict norms. Sound familiar? When something disturbs our natural way of life and rules are mandated that cause inconvenience, negative traits tend to get magnified. Now, while not a lot can be done to control the circumstances of the lockdown, what is in our control is our attitude towards it, confronting our problems rather than hiding from them. What do I mean by that? The lockdown has provided a conducive environment for many things, namely being in isolation rather than forcing ourselves to socialize, running away from our fears and anxieties rather than confronting them, and being indifferent to a hostile world overrun by the negative effects of the pandemic. We have overindulged ourselves with the notion of self-love and self-healing. We have no reserves of care and kindness left for those who are truly hurting. And in a world of self-centered people, greed is a deadly manifestation. I too am guilty of this and can see how the lockdown has provided a safe haven to run from many things I need to confront and justify my indifference towards others' pain. The best way I found to work on myself, so to speak, is to actively work on helping others, treating people with kindness, empathy, and giving a listening ear whenever I can. Maybe that's where our purpose in life really lies, just as our protagonist has demonstrated in empathizing with and fighting for the cause of those who can't fight for themselves. So, if you have that one friend you haven't talked to in a while, be the first to reach out, text or call. Be kind and caring towards others and don't expect anything in return. If someone doesn't treat you with dignity, be kind anyway. As the experiment has demonstrated, negative traits are infectious. COVID is contagious, but the biggest killer is probably kindness. While scrolling through your social media, do you struggle with insecurities of what others accomplish and where they are in life? Does it make you anxious of the future? Let's talk about it in part 2.